Hey guys, been overhauling my dad's bass boat. It's been sitting for like 10 years. It's all ready to go now, but one of the problems I had was I needed to have my transducer for my setup on my Lowrance on the front of the boat. I need a bow mount transducer, and I could not put it on my trolling motor. It just was not going to fit on that. So did some research. I found a solution from Fishing Specialties, and I'll give you a link in the video for that. I'm going to show you how I got that, what it came with, and how I installed it on the boat, and go from there. So that's today's video. So hit that like and subscribe and stay tuned. So we got a work in progress here. This is my dad's old bass boat. It had a 25 horse on it and hadn't been running probably 10 years. Trying to get this thing upgraded and ready to go. Put a new 15 horse Mercury on it because the lakes down here I can fish real close to the house have a 15 horse cap. So pulled off the 25 that wasn't working, it was dead. I'm gonna try to sell that, but got the 15 horse on. Had to replace the seats up here. Some minor repairs, had to replace the fuse box. I got the new fuse panel in there, but I haven't finished putting that in there yet. So mounted a new little fish finder, little Garmin over there. You can see it above the steering wheel there. Mounted that up and got that run. Put the transducer on the back of the boat for that. And that's really mainly while I'm driving to know what the depth is. And I've got this Minn Kota. This is the same one I use on my pontoon boat. It's a 55-pound thrust, and I've got iPilot on here. And I love the anchoring feature, and I think that's gonna come in real handy for drop shot and stuff. Just got finished drilling some holes, getting that mounted. But the problem that I've got is I have a Lowrance Elite 9 Ti, I believe is which one it is. And it's got that 3-in-1 transducer, which is just huge right here. So you can kind of see that's a good 10 inches there, probably. Pretty big transducer. I know a lot of people solve that issue by mounting that up here on the trolling motor, but I've heard there's a lot of issues with that, interference and whatnot from things I've read. Plus, that thing's never going to fit in here to mount, so it's just not happening. So I was trying to research what I can do. And I came across a website for Fishing Specialties located up in Colorado Springs, and this guy makes the Bowducer. So ended up calling him up, real friendly guy, Mike, and spoke with him, told him about what I was trying to do, what I wanted to accomplish, and he kind of spec'd out the Bowducer for me. So just now opening the box to see what we got in here. This is the down rod pole. Instruction on how to set this up. So this is the extension rod he mentioned to me. So basically there's going to be a base plate, I guess, and this is gonna mount somewhere in here. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it yet. All taped up real good. So basically, I believe the idea is to set this mounting plate somewhere up here. Apparently the mount is specific to, they gave me the mounting gear specific to my transducer. So it's pretty cool, it's all custom made. So I'm gonna read the instructions, get this set up, and I'll let you know how this thing works out. One more piece in the box here, and I guess that's where the rod goes in. That must mount onto this other plate somehow, or maybe that's where the transducer mounts, not sure yet, but we'll get it all figured out here. So basically this is where I'm gonna mount my mounting plate. I'll back up so you can kind of see what we got going on here. And then this will mount to that. And this is what's gonna hold the down rod assembly. It's gonna put the transducer down there. So I'm far enough back from the prop. I got the motor down over here. So I feel like I'll be good on this side, but yet still be close enough to where my iPilot can anchor it. We're gonna go ahead and drill this out, get this base plate mounted, and go from there. Okay, so I've got my 4 holes marked for the base plate, and I can go get a drill and start, drilling pilot holes through this stuff, but sometimes the drill bit wants to move on the aluminum, and also I like to start with a small bit and work my way up just to help with it. But if you've got a punch tool, man, it's night and day difference between trying to go straight into the it with a drill versus using a punch tool, especially in this aluminum. You can put a little divot right there in the hole there, and your drill bit will not walk once you do this. And this aluminum here is easy to pound this into. So as long as you do this, it's okay to drill through this. Now what I've got is I've opened this hatch up. Right here, which gave me access under here, and there's about that thick of aluminum is what I've got, and then there's 3/4 inch plywood underneath here. So I'm going to drill this out and then make the holes a little bit bigger just to the aluminum, and then we'll use the provided screws to secure this. All right, so this is what's nice about an older boat. Because if this was brand new, I'd be freaking out drilling a hole in it. But with an older boat, no problem. Okay, so here's the extension plate, which amounts to here. And these are the plastic thumb screws. And he said they're meant to hand tighten, and just put 2 of them on there. He said, and carry the extra ones with you. And that way, if this wants to snap or the pole hits something, if I hit a branch or something underneath the water, instead of all this breaking, it'll pop the screw hole and just pop out. And then there's a tether he provided to it too, where I can have a cable on it to bring up to the boat. So I'll probably tether it onto this cleat. But that's that part of the setup. And this is a telescoping rod, and I don't think it's going to need to go any further down. I guess I could probably adjust the depth of it with this too. That goes into the slot. This slides over. So I haven't finished looking at the rest of the directions. But this is the plate that is specific to the 3-in-1 transducer for the Lowrance unit that I've got. So I'm going to read the instructions about installing this and get that piece set up next. Okay, so here's the thing. We need to run the transducer wire up this rod. And a couple things. He shows it in the book. With the Lowrance unit, there were 3 nubs on this unit. It's just enough to where it will not slide in there. So I just took my sander and just sanded the 3 nubs off like you recommended. Works great, slides in here. The problem that I've got now is when you look in this rod, this screw, which is going to affix to this, there's a hole already tapped in here. Likewise, there's a hole tapped in from here, and there's a nub where the aluminum was pushed in on both of these guys. And so I've got to back these screws out, and then I had to use a file. I've got to use a file to kind of work down that piece of the metal nub that's stopping it from sliding in there. So that's something you may have to do. Okay, so I filed that down in there, and once I got through that one, it was fine. The top one here I didn't have to worry about because this is a bigger pipe because it's telescoping, so that's cool. It went right through, wire came out, that's great. I've got it threaded down to about right here right now. I'm gonna go ahead and screw this down, tighten it, and then go to the next step. Okay, so I've got the transducer. You put this puck back on the plate, and you'll see how it goes. And what's pretty nice is he already had a mark here where to line up to get your screw holes to mount this back end of the puck, okay? And then we're simply gonna take our transducer, I'm gonna flip this over, line up our holes and mount our transducer on here. And it lines up very nice. I tell you what, the engineering of this product is from Fishing Specialties is really nice because everything has a very good fit. Everything's been well thought out. So this should work pretty well for me. All right, so here's my setup. I've got the total scan unit mounted to the bottom of the rod. And it comes up to the top. There is a plastic cone ring that helps protect the cable. This I'm just gonna loop up. And the other thing is there is a provided tether. It was here, looped through, and I just crimped it to my cleat up here. Because again, the concept of this is engineered so that these plastic thumb screws, you only use 2. And this is engineered with the aluminum pole, with the base plate, so that if we hit a log or something and it goes to snap this off, instead of snapping the pole, snapping the base plate, it's engineered to snap the thumb screws, so that'll pop over. The other thing is, here's what's hold that screw, so I can just pop this out when I'm done. So it's not, you know, it's not like you can automatically just fold this up and out of the way. So you have to take this out when you're done, when you're not using it. But it's pretty straightforward, simple to use. I think this is going to be a good solution for me. So I still got to hook up the fish finder, which I'm going to put the seat on and figure out where I want to mount that. I've got everything to use for that. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split the power off of here. I got another connector piece for the fish finder power that I'm going to wire from the back of this to here. So I've got 2 plugs, one for the trolling motor, one for the fish finder. So that's the plan. So we're gonna get this done. All right, so I got my Lowrance installed. I ran a power port down to the front panel here, split it off the trolling motor power feed. Transducer cable got strapped together, and basically I've got it running to the Bowducer, which I just bungeed right here. Here's transducer here. Our tie for the breakaway, and there's the mount. So once we get out in the water, we'll just basically take that, mount it right in here, flip that Lowrance on, and we're gonna give it a test tonight. Okay, we're out here in the water, testing this out. Bowducer's in the water. There's the graph, looking good. Got all kind of stuff going on in the graph here, so it's picking up working like it ought to. It's correct depth reading and all that good stuff. So I've got both side imaging. Oops, wrong button. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see. There we go. And you can see we got the left and right side imaging and all that good stuff. So it's all working here. And just set up over there. But it was a big fail today because it's the first day testing this boat out because there's a new motor. You know, this has been moved over. The other fish finder for depth reading back at the steering wheel. Major overhaul on the boat. That's the nice Minn Kota that I have on my pontoon that I moved over here. Requires the remote. And guess what? I don't have the remote.